Welcome to the Riskwiser Zone, the podcast where we dive into the world of stocks, finance, and economics. I'm your host, Lewis, and I'm excited to have you join me today as we explore the latest developments in the financial markets. We've got a lot to cover on today's show, but first, let's take a look at the top stories making headlines. The S&P 500 and Nasdaq Composite are inching higher after climbing to fresh records during the previous trading session. Retail sales data is also out, showing that Americans continued to spend despite a weakening labor market and continued inflation. Sales rose 0.6% in August, exceeding expectations. In other news, the Senate has confirmed President Trump's pick, Stephen Moran, as a Federal Reserve Board governor. This comes as the Fed is widely expected to cut interest rates at its highly anticipated policy meeting on Wednesday. We'll be keeping a close eye on this development and what it means for the markets. We're also seeing some big moves in individual stocks. Novo Nordisk shares are rising after the company announced plans to seek U.S. approval for a high-dose obesity shot. And gold has reached a new record, with investors seeking safe haven assets ahead of the Fed's decision. It's shaping up to be an exciting day in the world of finance, and we'll be covering all of these stories and more on today's show. We'll provide you with expert analysis and insights to help you make sense of it all. Our goal is to give you a balanced view of the markets, without any bias or agenda. So, whether you're a seasoned investor or just starting to learn about the world of finance, you're in the right place. We'll break down the complex issues into easy-to-understand language and provide you with the information you need to make informed decisions. We'll be right back with more from the world of stocks and finance on the Riskwiser Zone. Welcome back to the Riskwiser Zone. We're glad you're still with us as we dive into the world of finance and explore some of the most interesting stories making headlines today. In our last segment, we discussed the importance of risk management in investing. Now, let's take a look at three companies that have been catching the attention of investors and analysts alike: Lululemon Athletica Inc., Aramark's spin-off Howmet Aerospace Inc., and Howmet Aerospace Inc. We begin with Lululemon, which has seen significant growth despite some challenges in the athletic apparel market. The company's strong brand loyalty and innovative products have contributed to its success. However, investors should be aware of potential risks such as increased competition and supply chain disruptions. Next up is Aramark's spin-off, Howmet Aerospace Inc., a leading provider of advanced engineered solutions for the aerospace and defense industries. Despite some near-term headwinds, the company has shown resilience with impressive growth in spares revenue and industrial acceleration driven by O&G and IGT. Investors should keep an eye on the company's investment in new capacity, operational leverage, and critical role in the hot section LLP supply chain. We also took a look at Howmet Aerospace Inc., which has been making waves in the aerospace industry with its strong fundamentals, recurring revenue base, and potential for multiple re-rating. The company's recent Q2 results highlighted both positives and temporary headwinds, but ultimately reinforced a long-term growth story. Lastly, we examined Aramark, a different business model within the same broad food service industry, offering investors a contrasting risk-reward profile. While the company has shown stronger fundamentals, recurring revenue base, and potential for multiple re-rating, investors should be aware of potential risks, such as stagnant financial performance and limited competitive advantage. It's essential to approach these investment opportunities with a critical eye, considering both the potential benefits and drawbacks. As always, we encourage our listeners to do their own research and consult with financial experts before making any investment decisions. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on the Riskwiser Zone. Welcome back to the Riskwiser Zone. Today, we've been exploring the world of investments and navigating through the complexities of the market. As we wrap up this episode, I'd like to bring your attention to a couple of interesting stories that have caught my eye. Firstly, let's talk about VMS Industries' subsidiary, VMS Securities, which has reportedly received approval from the Securities and Exchange Board of India, SEBI, to commence operations as a stockbroker. This development is significant for VMS Industries, as it marks a major milestone in the company's expansion plans. However, it's essential to consider the competitive landscape of the brokerage industry and the potential challenges that VMS Securities may face in establishing itself as a major player. On another note, we have Euro Pratik Sales, one of India's top organized wall panel brands, which is set to go public with its initial public offering, IPO. The company has a strong presence in the market, with an estimated 10% revenue share in FY24. Its asset-light model and diversified product portfolio are definite strengths. However, analysts have pointed out certain risks, including the company's reliance on overseas suppliers and distributors, which introduces potential vulnerabilities to exchange rate volatility. It's also worth mentioning that Euro Pratik Sales has delivered a strong rebound in FY25, with revenue rising 28% year-on-year to Rs 284 crore, while net profit surged to Rs 77 crore. The company's profitability remains solid, with an EBITDA margin of 35.7% and a net profit margin of 27%. These are certainly impressive numbers, but it's crucial to consider the valuation of the IPO, which is priced at 32.9 times its FY25 earnings. As investors, it's essential to approach these opportunities with caution and carefully evaluate the risks and potential returns. Remember to do your own research, consider multiple perspectives, and never invest more than you can afford to lose. That's all for today's Riskwiser Zone. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, invest with caution.